character, the main character, his name is Joseph, and he's standing by the fireplace. The room is so cold. He's away from home. And after weeks spent on the bumpy roads, on his carriage and pulled by his old horse over 200 kilometers, he reached Avignon, southeast of France, earlier that afternoon. Now, Joseph is the 12th son of a family of 16 children. Yes, 16. And his father runs a paper factory. And he's traveling to meet printers, meet clients, delivering and taking orders. And this is what a business trip in the 18th century looked like. Days of travel and weeks away from home, in the cold and unfamiliar place. Now I want to tell you about Joseph. Joseph is just a dreamer, just like Nelson. He wants to fly, he wants to imagine himself, and he dreams bigger. And his imagination is limitless, making him a highly distracted and a bit of an introvert as well. Now, I've got something in common with Joseph, actually, because school is not his things. And despite the relentless efforts of his dad for him to become a good student, Joseph loves trying to build machines and making experiences. But books? Nah, that's not his thing. Now, in 1782, Joseph is staying with a business partner in Avignon, and we're back by the fireplace. It is cold, and he decides to warm his shirt in the fireplace, and the warm air makes it rise above the fireplace. Now he repeats the experiment with a small piece of silk that rises up, all the way up the ceiling. Now, full of excitement, Joseph writes to his brother, Etienne, who is back home. Now, Etienne, prepare provisions of silk and rope, and you will see the most amazing things in the world. Etienne is child number 15 of the Montgolfier family, and is the exact opposite of his brother. Etienne is a scientist who studies physics, math, and architecture. He is a tireless, calm, and methodical worker. The two brothers, they complement each other. One with his brilliant and passionate with experimenting, and the other one with poise, process, and methods. Now back to the business meetings that Joseph has to go through. Joseph meets one of his clients, and during the visit, his eyes get locked on an engraving representing the Battle of Gibraltar by the Spanish. Now, by land and by sea, all the attackers have known is failure. And Joseph's eyes are going from the engraving and slip from the wall down to the fireplace. And he wonders, but the Spanish, they fell by land and sea. Could this be done through the air? The smoke rises up the fireplace and into the chimney. Why can't we store this smoke in such a way that we make the force, that energy available? Now, on the spot, Joseph cuts a square piece of silk, and just in a few moments, he had designed the shape and calculated the dimension of his future flying object. Now, back home at the factory, the whole Montgolfier family joined forces to build the first hot air balloon. And the paper makers, they set sights on any material available. The simple one, the one that they have at their disposal. A piece of silk intended to line the waistcoat becomes a balloon envelope. And on December the 14th, 1782, the first experiment outdoor happens. The weather is calm, and the assistants feed the fire a wet straw and finely chopped wool. It is in Annonay, 200 kilometers up north Avignon, in the courtyard of a convent, that the first official experiment took place in front of an assembly of local authorities. And between two masts lie an immense envelope that 8 men maintain about a fire of straw, wool, and they add all leather from shoes as well. So for the first time in the world, a balloon inflated with hot air rises all the way up in the sky. In 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, it rises to a height of 1,000 meters before falling down in a vineyard 3 kilometers away from its starting point. Only 2 months later, the Montgolfier brothers are invited by the king, Louis XVI, to launch a hot air balloon, but this time with passengers, a rooster, a duck, and a sheep on board. Why a sheep? Well, simply to see how an animal without wings can react to flying. Now, these passengers rose to an altitude of 600 meters and landed near Versailles. A couple of months later, Pilâtre de Rosiers and the Marquis d'Arlandes boarded a hot air balloon for the first human flight in history. 300 people came to watch. The ropes released the balloons, and the new conquerors salute the crowd with their hats. Pilâtre makes a successful landing, and they traveled above Paris and landed safely after an air trip of 9 kilometers. It was official. The Montgolfier balloon took the first passengers safely up in the air. Now, hot air is lighter than cold air, and that's upon the scientific application of this principle that the two brothers, Joseph and Étienne Montgolfier, were knighted by Louis XVI. And they took as their motto the following sentence in Latin: Sic itur ad astra. We will thus go to the stars.